The Galaxy Book 3 looks to deliver some of the premium Galaxy Book 3 Pro experience at a significantly lower price. But does it succeed? When I tested the Samsung Galaxy Book 3 Pro earlier this year, I was impressed in almost every regard. However, there was one major complaint I had with that laptop. It's just a touch too pricey. Now, Samsung has introduced a non-Pro version with a significantly lower price tag. So, of course, I needed to test it out. Could this be the Windows laptop that we've been waiting for? Or have too many corners been cut to hit a competitive price point? I set out to find out. I've been testing the Core i7-1355U variant, which comes in at a price of £899 in the UK or $999 in the US, albeit with 16 GB of RAM rather than 8 GB. However, it's also available with a Core i3 or i5 processor, starting from just £599. The Samsung Galaxy Book 3 is a well-built, slim, and lightweight notebook that performs excellently. Some corners were cut to hit this price point, though, and the display, webcam, and battery life leave something to be desired. The Galaxy Book 3 makes a good first impression. Outwardly, it's very similar to the Galaxy Book 3 Pro, with an all-aluminum construction and the same graphite finish that we admired on the more expensive model. This time, that's the only finish available in the UK, but I think it looks great. The only thing that irks me is how it attracts fingerprints and smudges. It's far from the worst offender, but it's less than ideal. Where the Galaxy Book 3 differs a little more is in its dimensions. This model uses a 16:9 display, and that effectively means that it's about 2 centimeters narrower. When unfolded, the keyboard appears to be roughly the same size, but the palm rest and trackpad have shrunken. This is fine by me. The trackpad on the Pro model is a bit too big in my view. For this reason, I actually prefer this model's trackpad. You don't have to reach as far to click, and it has performed solidly throughout my testing. It's nothing to write home about, but I can't imagine anyone complaining about its performance either. The keyboard is slightly less convincing. It has a full numpad, which some people will love, but this makes the layout slightly cramped, and I found myself hitting the wrong keys occasionally when touch typing. This is the kind of thing that you'll adapt to over time, but as someone who rarely uses a numpad, it's just mildly frustrating for me. It's also not backlit, which is very unusual for a laptop in this price category and one of the first signs of cost-cutting when compared to the Pro lineup. Otherwise, it's a decent keyboard. There's very little deck flex, and the keys feel decent across the board. The I/O is good and quite similar to the more expensive models. You get 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB-A ports, a headphone/mic socket, an HDMI output, and a microSD card reader. The difference here is that there's no Thunderbolt support. You only get USB 3.2 Gen 1 connectivity. That's fine for my needs, but anyone who relies on Thunderbolt peripherals will want to swerve this model. The 16:9 aspect ratio is a little jarring when the majority of laptops have made the shift to 16:10. You get used to it quite quickly, but I much prefer a 16:10 display, simply because you can see much more of a web page or document without needing to scroll. Of course, you can reduce the scaling to fit more on the screen, but with an FHD panel, there's only so far you can go. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.